All right, guys, what is going on? It is August 25th. I thought it'd be a really good idea to start off the bulking series by documenting a couple major lifts, seeing how much strength I have. So this way, when we get to the end of the bulk, I can do the same lifts and we can see how much strength I gain. Now, obviously the number one priority of this bulk is not to gain strength. I'm not powerlifting, I'm bodybuilding, but it would be really cool just to see how much strength I do gain. So what I'm gonna do right now is work up to a heavy single on the bench press. We're gonna see how much I can get. Keep in mind, this is not gonna be an all out 1 rep max because I haven't been lifting that way. I haven't been lifting super seriously for the past little while because I've been cutting and then I've been in Miami. So without taking up too much of your time, we're gonna warm up to a top set and let's see what we can do. All right, 335. We're just gonna go for one here. Let's bump it up to 365. I have a feeling this is gonna be a bit of a battle, so we're gonna put on the wrist straps for this one. Where the fuck the other one going? Just gonna go pump one. That's pathetic. What do we do? All right, 375. I hope I get it. It's either I get it or guillotine, one of the two, so no choice. Yeah, thank you. All right, we're gonna just stop it there. So we'll cap bench at 375 for one. We'll check it out at the end of the bulk, see what we can get. Not thrilled about that, not upset about it. You guys wanna know how much strength I lost over the cut. At the end of the bulk in like February, March time, I did 435 for one, and now we just did 375. So that's a 60-pound loss of strength. That's part of doing an extreme cut. Whatever, such is life, we'll build it back up. All right, guys, it's August 27th. We're gonna do some squats here and see what I can squat. I'm gonna try and build up close to a 1 rep max. I'm not gonna go for a 1 rep max. I'm not a fucking idiot, blow my spine out. If I could start the bulk in a wheelchair, sick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna warm up into my top set, which I think will probably be around 450. I'm gonna aim for 450, but we'll see how it feels. And yeah, we'll see how much strength I have. All right, let's see how 4 pizzas feel. We're gonna put on 25. Maybe I'll do a 10 first. I don't know if I'm gonna be a stupid cunt or not. Yeah, fuck it, we'll do it. It's for the documentary. Guys, on a side note, I do not recommend you starting off your bulk with 1 rep maxes. I would never do this. The only reason why I'm doing it is for documentation purposes. I just wanna let you guys know that. Don't be stupid, don't hurt yourself. All right guys, 455, let's try and get one here. That was stupid. We're stopping there. I'm not starting my bulk like Stephen Hawkins. That's enough. Starting strength baseline for the squat, 455. Let's see what we bring that up to. As a relative scale, my 1 rep max peak bulk was 545. So I lost about 90 pounds of strength in my squat over the cut. So that's fucking brutal, but we'll build that back up. That's no big deal. All right. It is Friday, August 29th. We're gonna be doing a back day today. I'm gonna start off with pull-ups. I'm gonna do as many bodyweight pull-ups as possible just so we can get a baseline of my back strength, pull-up strength. Although I must mention that my vertical pull strength is actually my weakest. And also my biceps are nuked from yesterday's arm workout. So those are my excuses. Don't judge me. I'm hoping for fucking 10. Not bad. I'm 240. It's not easy being a water buffalo. Whew. I actually started laughing halfway through this set because I was like, I'm doing too many right now. What's gonna happen at the end of the bulk if I don't improve? It'll be embarrassing. All right, so 13 pull-ups. That will be the baseline for our back strength. It's gonna be a little tough because I'm gonna be much heavier at the end of the bulk, so won't be super equivalent, but whatever, good enough. 13, lock it in. Buongiorno, you cunts. I thought it'd be a really good idea to start this journey off with a call with my coach so we know what to expect in this process, also what our goals are, where my weaknesses are, what's his methodology on training and nutrition, just a bunch of stuff, overview stuff. I thought it'd be really cool to compare what we talk about now to the end of the journey. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call Cliff, we're gonna have a conversation, and yeah, let's get into it.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Man, I know you had a bunch on your plate this week. How'd it go overall?
2 pro card wins and 3 pro wins.
Wow.
So, one in women's physique, one in men's bodybuilding, and then a bikini pro card.
Okay, cool. So I'll kind of talk about the first week. So first things first, overall, as far as the diet goes, right now it's enough food for me not to be like really worried about food, but I'm also always hungry all the fucking time. I feel really good on it. I also am losing weight because we started, I think, at like 240 or 239. I'm kind of hovering between 235 and 237 right now. Honestly, really what it came down to was I was just being a bit of a fucking stupid cunt with like the mojitos and the tacos and shit. I told you I was doing cardio. I was doing like 40-minute Stairmaster, and I was trying to kind of like, you know, kind of wash it out with that. And it just wasn't a good idea at all. Okay, I'm just gonna burn like 400 calories on the Stairmaster and just not really care about how many fucking margaritas I crank back. And also, like, to be fair, I just wanted like 6 weeks off. So anyways, so yeah, just kind of like getting back into the routine of eating healthy, eating nutritious meals, eating food that's actually going to fuel me and not just like, you know, fucking tacos and shit.
So with the diet, one thing that I was really aiming to accomplish was, so one we talked about, it sounds like you have this history of like, oh, you know, you overeat to gain, but then you try and crash it down.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is not uncommon in the bodybuilding world. What you employed in the past is also pretty common among a lot of competitors, where they like diet really hard with the mindset of, I'm going to keep this prep as short as possible, so you know I can just get lean and get lean quickly and have to spend minimal amount of time in the diet. Mm-hmm. But like you said, we want a caloric intake that has you, one, losing weight at a good pace, which means you're getting leaner, but not so quickly that performance becomes significantly hindered, and not so quickly that you kick up a lot of inflammation. Anytime you threaten to a significant degree that's homeostasis, you're going to kick up a lot of inflammatory processes. And you'll see a lot of guys on stage where they're like, I've been eating 1,500 calories and I still didn't get lean enough, and they look really puffy. It's because they're just inflamed.
Thing is like, for me, it's not like I don't understand this. Like, I know that like the best way to actually do things would be more milder on both sides, like the extreme bulk and the extreme cut. Then you're talking about the most extreme bulk is a dirty bulk. And the most extreme cut is just starving yourself. So obviously the extreme ends are not the route to an optimal way of gaining and losing weight and retaining whatever muscle you build. The main reason why I did it is, to be honest, man, when you're in the social media game, you get fucking yanked based off of views a lot of the times. Like, man, everybody wanted to see me eat like fucking 5,500 calories and bench 405 for reps. So like, you know, you kind of you kind of get dragged down that that lane. But like, and I also wasn't competing, right? So it wasn't the most important thing to be optimal. It was the most important thing to be a bit sensational. Like I said, most of the time, it's just been kind of exaggerated because of content and the views from content.
You are absolutely right though. A lot of my clients, they get to this like extreme level of conditioning, and people are like, oh, it must be this extreme diet, and they think like it's extreme, like 1,000 calories or 1,200 calories. But I'm like, it's extreme. Like, can you eat a balanced diet for 30 weeks straight? And they're like, oh, that's not the kind of extreme I wanted to hear.
For the training, like I told you in the beginning, I'd probably be a better power lifter than bodybuilder, just based off of like what my competencies are in this kind of realm of working out in the gym. Like I did push-pull legs, that was my split. I would do 6 days in a row and then 1 day off, which last year I promised myself I was gonna do 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off. And what happens to me is that I'm a very hard worker, and sometimes I become a victim of my work ethic, where, on the 4th day where I'm supposed to rest, I'll be like, man, my back feels fine. I can go in and do a back day. And I never really gave myself that extra rest. And I know that rest is super fucking important. But like for me, I'm way too much Goggins, where it's like, I don't need to listen to a Goggins podcast ever, because that's so inherently in me. I need to like listen to like Gabor Mate saying like, hey, love yourself a little bit and fucking like take some time off. You know what I mean? My biggest flaw in the past with bulking, I was always like, man, I gotta gain as much fucking muscle as possible here. I'm gonna just go balls to the walls. And what I would do is I'd just fucking floor it. Keep in mind, I'd get so fucking strong and I'd build a shit ton of muscle. But the thing is that when you increase your deadlift every single week for fucking 6 months straight, I would start getting cold sweats right when I would start warming up to deadlift. My body would actually go into a fever because of the fact that I burnt out so fucking much. My body would literally just shut down because I would just like push down everything that I was feeling, where it was like, oh, you're in too much pain today, you're a bitch, go fucking finish this. And I'd be like, yeah, and I'd psychologically get there. But after like 6 months straight of doing that, you eventually hit a wall. You're a human being. And so that kind of was what would happen to me a lot of the times. And the other thing too is I'm actually accustomed to training heavier for lower reps and lower volumes. Never in my life have I, or I mean, in the past 7 years, I would say, have I done 4 sets of 25 with 30 seconds rest, fucking 60 working sets in an actual day. My like style of training has been so drastically different to what you're doing that it's actually taking me some time to like adjust.
First off, I fully expected this was going to be an adjustment period for you. Don't expect that I thought you'd come right out of the gate and be like, oh, I've got this. I did anticipate, as you said, your mindset aspect. I want you to adopt the perfect mindset for this. I think that you generally take the approach of you're going to be the hardest worker. You're going to leave no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But let's change that a little bit. I want you to change yourself during this process from you are not hell-bent on being the hardest worker. You're hell-bent on doing whatever it takes to be your best. Sometimes what it takes is you need a rest day. Sometimes you need to know when to back off and when to go all out, because it requires both. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I would say it's always better to err on the side of working too hard rather than not hard enough. But kind of pride yourself on being that guy that will do whatever it takes to be your best and try to win, is because you will do what the other guy won't, which is sometimes take a rest day when it is absolutely called for. But that also means going balls out on your set when the other guy won't too. When it comes to the volume aspect and the high rep aspect, this is definitely a difference of like training like a bodybuilder. There is a lot of value in high volume training. When you look at like the elite competitors, the guys that are huge on low volume, they're the outliers. They can wave it off and they say things like, oh, everyone's a genetic freak at the top level. But it's like, yeah, everyone is always competing in their own genetic cluster. And you notice that almost every level, the guys that are training with high volume and pretty dang high intensity, they're always at the top of their cluster. People will say, well, what about Dorian Yates? I'm like, yeah, the fact that like Dorian Yates, you were literally naming the outliers. You know them because they're the exceptions. They're the real genetic freaks. Now, it does require to learn some nuance. You know what I mean? Like, how often do I go to failure? How often do I stop a rep short from failure or two? You know what I mean? That's going to take a little time to learn, and that's what you and I are going to work on. The other thing is the high rep sets. First off, they allow you to have more control over which muscle you're targeting. 20 reps, 25 reps, it's fucking painful.
My issue is this: I just AMRAP every single set. I go as many as until I fucking die. The thing for me, I knew that was actually not optimal for building muscle, but I wasn't as focused on building muscle as I was building mental fortitude in life, because like I said, I've had no aspirations to become a bodybuilder. I don't care to have the best physique in the world. I really care about being someone that's going to just face everything and work my fucking ass off if I want something. So my first leg day that I did from your program, I almost felt like puking after the second exercise, because I'm so used to going as heavy as possible until failure. And then as like the week went on, I was like, bro, drop the fucking weights because you'll die. You'll literally just die. And like now to your point where you're like 25 reps is hard, man. By the third exercise, I'm literally doing 20 pounds and I'm screaming, and like muscles I didn't even know that I had feel like they're ripping out of my body. Like I'll be doing reverse pec deck, and underneath my shoulder where my tricep and my fucking bicep are is scorched, and I'm like, what is this? I don't even know. I look like such a fucking bitch right now. You know what I mean? And it feels so crazy different.
You know, it sounds like you are on the right track. We just probably need to hone how often we're going to failure.
I was going to ask you a question. I've heard a lot of people mentioning junk volume when you do too much volume. I just wanted to know your thoughts on what, you know, people's idea of junk volume is.
At one point in my career, I was hell-bent on trying the Mike Mincer approach. You know, everything to failure, low volume type of training. I'll just comment to my anecdotal evidence is that I tried it. It just did not work well for my clients. As a bodybuilding coach, if you use methodology that isn't as good, you get left behind. It led to me like, I got to abandon this. And so when it comes to the popularity of like people worrying about overtraining and junk volume, really, I would say the current trend that as I observe it is that different people have different volume needs. And part of this process is going to be tinkering with your volume up or down to find what your needs are. I find that most people have greater volume needs than what the research shows, because also the research is not usually done on people that are trained at such a high level that to where they're going to step on stage. We will draw up plays, which is the training program, but we're going to really have discussions around what your execution looks like any other sport.
You know, even just from doing this style of training, like mid-workout, I'm seeing stuff in my physique that I really haven't seen, and I think that is attributed to the fact that I'm actually really getting a pump in certain areas. For example, if I'm doing a bent over row at 315 for sets of 8, I'm kind of using everything from my fucking dick to my traps, you know what I mean? Like dropping the actual weight, I'm also feeling pumps like I've never felt before. One thing that I wanted to kind of like talk about is me personally. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What is the goal for the physique? Like where do we want to build up the most? What is a reasonable goal amount of lean tissue we're expecting to put on? And I just wanted to kind of see your thoughts on that.
You have like a really solid foundation of muscle mass, clearly. You're a big guy. You will notice, so first off, we do need to bring up the leg.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'm going to say this as politely as I can, but yeah, the legs have got to come up.
No, hey, dude, by the way, just so you know, I look at my physique and I'm like, I don't even know where my strong points are, so don't worry, you're not insulting anybody here.
When I look at your physique, it looks at times like you look like somebody that's done a lot of powerlifting type movements. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is your physique can be gappy. Like you have a lot of muscle mass, but it's a little like trapped heavy. Even like your leg side that is there, you notice that there's more muscle mass towards the top of the quads than the bottom. Upper quad development compared to lower usually indicates somebody's doing a lot of powerlifting or heavy squatting and pressing, because it's such a hip dominant movement. And when you squat heavy, you can't use the lower quad, the medialis, the lateralis to a high degree, because you have to really sit back on it when it's heavy. So we're going to put like high rep leg work in, because then you'll be able to actually like squat, leg press using your knee joint more, which will develop the medialis and lateralis more. The lower quad area for me is an area that I think we really need to focus in on. There's other like you said, just little gappy areas where I can tell with the shape of your pecs, like you've done like some heavier pressing as well, where we can hit more of the inner pec area. When I look at your physique, okay, we need legs, we need inner pecs, we need upper pecs a little bit. We need some areas of lats that need to be focused on, like in your back, particularly like I said, lower lats, things like that. We need to increase the patterns of movement to sort of like fill in these gapped areas. honestly, when I look at your physique, because you have great muscle mass across the board, but when I look at your physique, almost every muscle group has an area of that muscle group that I want to fill in a gap. You're a big guy, you know how to train, you know how to work hard. I think that those gaps are going to fill in much faster than somebody that doesn't have those skill sets that you have. Now, with that said, what I would really like to see is us to gain somewhere around 10 pounds of lean tissue. I know that sounds a little lofty, but just given what I know about you, given what I know about what the cycle looks like, we're going to be able to really do some things here. Right now, you are a very big, very muscular guy, but you don't really have like that bodybuilder look.
Not at all,
like
not at all. You know what the funny thing is when I look at my physique, I'm like, okay, yeah, like I look like I work out, and I'm also like 240 fucking pounds, and I'm also a moose, but I just don't look like a guy that like really really, you know, like has like a fucking stellar physique. Like there's guys like with way better physiques than me, you know, that don't train anywhere near as fucking hard as me. There's no way I train this hard for like fucking 6 years straight, and like people like have better legs than me. Like how am I squatting 580 pounds, and this guy that can't even fucking never squat a day in his life has fucking like I see separation in his quads. Like I've never seen separation in my quads in my fucking life. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
You know what the problem is, Billy? Your muscle tissue is too damn functional. We gotta get you some show muscle.
You know, it's so funny, dude. Like I'm fucking strong. Like at the end of my bulk, like I bench 435. I overhead press 315 pounds. Like I'm a fucking moose. But if you see a guy who can overhead press 315 pounds, he looks like Chris Bumstead. You know what I mean? And I don't look like fucking Chris Bumstead at all. I'm not even close.
You're really good at moving weight and moving it from point A to point B. But honestly, we gotta get you some show muscles that are probably more functional than you'd like.
Yeah. All right, so it turns out pretty much that my physique sucks. Wait till he finds out I'm hung like a fucking squirrel, and I'm not gonna be able to fill out one of those little sparkly underwear. Anyways, no problem. I'm just gonna fucking just jump off my balcony here. That's it. It's over. Fuck this. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm the fucking best. We're gonna get massive. See you guys. All right, guys, so it's Saturday, August 31st, the day before the bulk. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna do a little weigh-in here. We're gonna see how much body fat we have, how much muscle we have, how much we weigh, etc. So let's hop on. Let's get our starting point for the bulk. Gonna wet your feet a little bit. All right, guys, so the official starting weight of the bulk is 237.2 pounds. Body fat percentage is 16%, and my lean mass is 185.5 pounds. So next up, what we're gonna do is some flexes, so we have something to compare with at the end of the bulk and at the end of the prep. So we're just gonna do that. I have no idea how to flex. I don't give a fuck. This is what you get. I just cracked my collarbone. I'm just so tired. It's so early in the morning. Stop staring at my hog. You know this one? Okay, so there's one more thing that I wanted to mention moving forward, because I wanted to keep this journey completely transparent and I want it to be raw and real. And this is going to be a very crucial part of this whole journey, but I will be hopping on PEDs moving forward. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, like I said, I want to be transparent. And number two, there's going to be some things that are going to be happening at a faster rate, and that's because of the PEDs. So I just want to bring that to your awareness. You guys have to keep in mind, I've thought about this a lot, whether I'm going to mention it or not. On the one hand, yeah, it's a great thing to be transparent, and also there's unrealistic standards in the fitness industry, and being open and honest about PED use helps break those unrealistic standards. So I think that's definitely a pro. The con is that when you start talking about PEDs, whether you like it or not, immediately you become a walking billboard for them. Like for me personally, I don't give one fuck if you guys know if I'm on PEDs or not. It means nothing to me. It has a lot more to do with the fact that I have a lot of young men and women, particularly men, that follow me and they look up to me. I personally believe that I have a fiduciary responsibility to the people that follow me, especially the young kids, because young kids are impressionable, and the last thing I want to do is be an advertisement for something that will harm them. As a heads up, I'm going to be doing it as healthy as possible. I'm going to have my coach monitor me and my bloods. I'm gonna be doing regular checkups. I'm gonna make sure nothing goes out of whack. I told my coach very adamantly that my number one concern is my health, and I don't want to jeopardize my health to win a bodybuilding show. It doesn't mean that much to me. So my health is the number one priority. I just wanted to bring it up, let you guys know that I'm gonna be hopping on the gas. So if you see fucking chaps start popping out of my fucking, start seeing a third eye growing in the back of my head, let me know. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. This is the official starting point of the bulk. I'm glad you guys made it this far. I'm happy you guys watched this video, and I'm really, really, really excited to go on this journey. So let's fucking crush it. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next vlog.